Hello,
Aloha.
aloha. That's right, Hawaii.
We're here.
We are here together,
Yay.
and I like to give it a few moments for people to jump on if they feel inspired. And we are on both two devices here today. Shoshana has her phone, and she's live on her page, and we have my computer in front of us, and I am, we are doing two devices basically on one of my page and Shoshana's page. And hello, everybody that are joining right now. When you're joining, if you feel inspired, please say hello. Yeah, you need to stay close together here on the phone. Please say hello and where are you from? Yeah, just so we know that you are here. And Shoshana and I felt really inspired to go live here today and offer what's really alive for me personally, for Shoshana, and what is alive for many people. And so offering not just inspiration and just more information for you to digest, but actually practical things that you could implement into your life in order to experience a sense of thriving. And so that's really what the conversation is about today. Is first, what is thriving? Because there's many different aspects to thriving in life, and so we'll talk about that, and I'll share from my own personal experience of what's the realizations or the clarity that I'm coming to in my life, and Shoshana is going to share from her experience, and we're just going to jam because it's such a prevalent state in our collective, being in survival mode, and the stress that it brings, and the addiction to stress. And that's something that I am realizing so deeply of being addicted, really being addicted to being in tension, to being stressed out. And how is that affecting our health? How is that affecting our energy field? And how is that affecting pretty much everything in life? And that from that place of awareness, first of all, just recognizing that there is an addiction. We could be addicted to stress. We could be addicted to being in survival mode, and being addicted because that's what we know. And so we continue to perpetuate that state because that is the familiar state, and therefore creating circumstances in life that affirm that state of stress, tension, survival. And there's a way out of that, so we can start getting more comfortable and accustomed and familiar with a state of relaxation and the state of thriving. So that's, I guess, a summary of what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
And please add.
Yeah, I feel like there's been a certain program that we've, as a collective, been operating under, which is, really that survival, using our creative life force energy mostly to pay the bills, to make sure we have a roof over our head, and we have food, and are we provided for, and the stress that comes with that, and the stress on our nervous system, and the toll it takes on our health and our well-being. And I do feel like there's a shift in consciousness where I hear people expressing to me more and more wanting to tap into their creative gifts and their offerings and their music or their voice, whatever it might be, and recognizing, well, what if we operated from a place that our passion, that which really turned us on, our creativity, allowed us to be provided for, and we see that, with, down the street, we have people who are surfing for a living, and they're doing what is their highest excitement as a little child. They're like, I want to do this. Or there are musicians who are paying the bills through their music, whatever it might be. But how can we free up our energy so we can do that which excites us, rather than just, okay, well, I got to go to work and get in the 9-to-5 grind? I feel like there's a shift happening. It's going to take a while on the planet for everyone to to catch on and for to be fully supported by the masses. But I think as we each recognize that we can do what we're born to do, and that
and be compensated for
and
it.
be compensated, and that great spirit, God, whatever you want to call the source behind all of this creation, created us to be creators and not to be victim of circumstances or survivors. So I feel like there's a shift happening, stepping out of that. And so there's some practical things we want to share today about, that what we're sharing, and how to help people to thrive in their health, so they're freed up energetically, they have the vitality and life force to do what they're here to do, as well as how to create more residual income flowing in so we can pay our bills and we're not stressed out about that. And of course these things take our attention and energy and focus to get the ball rolling in that direction, but how can we get the momentum going so we can free up more energy in the end, not in the end, but what I'm saying, to do more of that which brings us joy and passion, rather than being here in Hawaii having to work 5 jobs just to survive.
Just to pay the rent. Yeah, and very important also to add to what Shoshana is saying is the community aspect of it's a lot easier to thrive in life when there is a support system. We have been trained to go about life. Again, that's the stress program and the survival program that is so tied into I got to do it all alone. And the way the system is built right now is people are just I got to do it all by myself, and especially in the entrepreneurial world, which this is our lives. Like, I'm an entrepreneur, Shoshana is an entrepreneur. I've been providing for myself for many years because freedom is one of my most important, if not the most important value I have. And so in the entrepreneurial world, I see so much of that, the stress and the tension of I am my business. I am my business. And so, first of all, I need to be on top of my game in terms of my health. And I must keep on going in order for the machine to keep on running. And that creates tremendous amount of stress on people's nervous system, and continue to perpetuate that survival state. And the nervous system is constantly aggravated to the point where things can break down. Now, when there is support system, when there is community, that alone brings so much more relaxation to the system. That and this is the feminine way. Because the patriarchy, the masculine, that is I'm just going to do it all alone and work hard and unknowingly keep running the program of survival. So much of the creative energy and the life force of the individual goes to just getting by, just paying the bills.
I'm curious, as far as astrologically speaking, do you see, Noah's an astrologer for those of you who don't know, he's an amazing astrologer, and I'm just wondering, do you see in the cosmos, the transition from, individual, I got this, I'm doing it, like, Lone Ranger kind of operating that we've been doing, everyone cloistered in their own, whether they're with their families or alone, just surviving, to more of a communal effort of people joining their resources and talents and gifts together. You see that?
The cosmos are definitely saying that, because the cosmos are just a reflection of human consciousness. So many of us are coming to a place now where we are tired of that. I know for me as an entrepreneur, it's great. I'm a very independent person and self-sufficient, and it's been kind of killing my soul. So it's just me and the computer, and of course I work with people, so it's not that I'm not interacting with people, yet there is that element of a community of collaboration. Like even this, like I enjoy conversing with another person and going live than just me in front of the camera jamming, you know. So that a lot of us are waking up to that realization of, I'm tired of doing it alone, because it's not, we are really getting in touch with our true soul's callings and the original design of ourselves as humans and humanity as a whole. And part of the original design is collaboration, is co-creation. It's the feminine way of no competition but collaboration. So it's part of the evolution, and people seeking to step out of surviving and actually starting to thrive. And I do want to emphasize, though, that, and this is, you know, what I am seeing more and more clearly, of how we can be addicted to stress and tension. And addiction is not just things, substances, it's, we are addicted to certain states. And when I say addicted, it's more about being, you're familiar with a certain state. And when our system is familiar with a certain state, that's what we consider to be the comfort zone, even though it's not comfortable, but that's what you are familiar with.
Absolutely.
And so you will continue to choose to make choices in life that perpetuate that familiar state of being. So my intention and our intention here today is to offer the tools and offer what is available to actually step out of that familiar state of being in survival and start thriving, unless you want to stay in survival, and that's okay too. And you can tell us in the comments, just how is that landing for you, how is that resonating with you, if you're here live now, if you're watching this later, if you are recognizing in your life that, wow, there is a pattern of survival, like I just keep producing the same experiences in life that keep you in a place of tension, that keep you in a place of survival.
Yeah. And I would like to speak into what brought us here right now,
Yes,
because
yeah.
one of the, you know, there's so many different ways we can come together and support each other and join our forces together and our gifts and talents. I love creating events. I love weaving, you know, whether it's, you know, musical, bringing musicians together, players of instruments, or just all the talents that we have, for, you know, to produce events where we can all shine together. So what brought Noah and I here together right now is, many of you know that I work with the Superfood Company and been helping people do health transformations so they can thrive health-wise, because our food supply and, you know, the environment has so many toxins in it, and people are not their radiant vital selves because of that. So how can we reclaim our health? And then also by sharing this and supporting our friends and family and community to be healthy, create income, so we can, you know, be freed up to do what we're really here to do. You know, so I see it like we're turning on the lights on the planet, you know, and that we're empowering ourselves financially too, to have financial health, because so many people are stressed out and getting sick because of the financial thing.
Yeah.
Right. And eventually, you know, perhaps there won't be money, and it will be, you know, trading coconuts for, you know, whatever it might be. But for now, this is where we're at.
This is the system.
And so I feel really blessed, you know, with the superfood company that I've been working with, which is why Noah's here. We are here together right now having this conversation, and that brought us together. And that's what's amazing to me, is that because of this, I've been able to work with others who I love, and we bringing our talents together and finding this resonance of like, yeah, let's help people. You've been a detox specialist for I don't know how many years, helping people to up level their health, and now we've combined forces to help bring it to more people, because you've been doing one-on-one, and you know, not everyone can afford that type of service. You know, you give everything and you help people so beautifully. This way we can reach more people and create an impact on more lives, which is beautiful. And so I love the fact that through the Superfood Company, we're here together, combining our forces and creating, looking at creating events and doing things that we can just help people in our community and the world.
And have fun while doing it. That's the other thing, is having fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we're not having fun, what are we doing? Right?
What's the point? Yeah. And I love what you said. It's just perfect. You summed it up really beautifully. I also want to say something about being an entrepreneur, and I see, because it's not about worshiping money or anything like that. It's just like Shoshana said, it's a tool. Yes, one day the system will change, the financial system will change, and we'll have something else. And for right now, this is what we are choosing as humanity to use. And let's first just heal our relationship with money and all of that. And also as entrepreneurs, like I said, because the individual is the business, I see a lot of entrepreneurs that are killing themselves in a sense, or are very much addicted to stress and the tension just to keep the machine going. And they can have a very successful business, and they're actually impacting a lot of people, and they're doing beautiful things in the world, and their personal health is a disaster. They're just strong on caffeine. They're not healthy. They're not thriving. So I see this split that a lot of people are in, that either very successful financially, but the health is very compromised. And then a lot of people that their health is okay, but then there's the financial struggle, and you can put yourself on that spectrum. And my idea of thriving, and this is what I am so passionate about and helping people embody more, is that state of thriving is all of it. And it starts with your health. I'm big of like, I am the source. You are the source of everything in your life. Your business, your relationships, whatever it is that is outside of yourself is merely an extension. So to me, the health is the first and foremost, to actually clean the vessel, nourishing the vessel, so you have the energy to pursue your dreams, your visions, your aspirations, your creative visions. And then the financial piece comes in, because money gives us the freedom to do so, and money helps us also to take care of the vessel, to actually invest in the organic food and products that can help elevate our health and our consciousness, invest money in beautiful treatments and body work and things that, again, help us to maintain. It's maintenance, just like you take your car to get maintenance every few months, right? You need the financial means to do that. Your body is even more important. Your consciousness is even more important. So it really goes hand in hand, the financial thriving, the physical thriving. And I'm so blessed. I have been so blessed to be introduced to what Shoshana was talking about, and connecting to an amazing community of people where I finally feel, wow, this is a place that I can relax into the arms of others, and I can share my gifts and what it is that I already do, but now I don't need to do it alone.
Yeah. We don't need to do it alone.
Yeah.
And I think also the paradigm of, you have to like work hard and, like no pain, no gain, that the old concepts of
survival,
that survival paradigm of like, well, what if we really just were able to do what lights us up, and find other like-minded people and pool our talents and our gifts and our resources to do it together. I think that's, perhaps when we talk about the age of Aquarius, perhaps that's what it looks more like. I don't know.
Well, it's coming. It's coming, but we are now paving the path for the new paradigm. It's not like the new paradigm is going to poof appear out of thin air. We are the pioneers. And those of you that are resonating with this message and listening to this, watching this, and you feel that calling in your heart, then there's something to pay attention to, that you are a pioneer in the sense of creating a new paradigm of thriving, that every single individual can actually thrive. And how do we do that?
And Noa, I'd like to address the thriving health-wise, because it seems like in this day and age, people have a fear about getting sick or, getting cancer, or, it's like you're going to catch something, or, it's just we're designed and we're going to break down and get sick. And I really don't believe that's our true nature. I feel like these bodies are amazing miracles that, strive for homeostasis, health, and balance. And when we take care of them, and like you said, taking care of your car, like most people know that, okay, I'm going to get an oil change, every 60,000 miles or whatever it might be, because that way my car functions optimally.
Exactly.
And yet most people on the planet are not changing the filters, and not that you can switch out your liver, but we can like do a liver flush and like purify, so we're not collecting toxins and gunk, and it's easy and it's really simple, and and yet we're not educated
Exactly
about this.
Yeah, and this is part of what we're here to do, is the education, is to share the information. 100%.
Yeah, so I'm thrilled that we have an easy way where people can, from the comfort of their own homes, have support, do a 30 or 40-day health transformation and really shift. And my story was, I've been pretty healthy and cleansing, whatnot, but I hit a wall and just felt there was so much going on in my life, both emotionally, physically, that I just had no energy. I was just flatlined. Some may have experienced chronic fatigue for, months and months and years. That wasn't necessarily my story, but there was like a month there that I felt that, just fatigue, and had no life force. My blood felt sick. I was like, I didn't even have energy to walk the beach. It's like, what's going on? Because normally I'm like the Energizer bunny. And so that's what got me involved here, because I did a health consult that was free, and that's how I got involved in this. And I started doing a 30-day health transformation, which is integrating just high dense level nutrients into my body. And within the third or fourth day, I felt like my energy returned. So it was as easy as that. I've been doing it. I incorporate these products in my day-to-day because I feel so deeply nourished, and I'm gently detoxing every day, and I'm not starving, and my blood sugar is not all over the place, and I don't feel whacked out, but I feel grounded. And so it's nice that we have a simple tool. I feel David Sandoval, who is one of the founders of this company, he created this so it can reach people anywhere and everywhere, because there is a food desert. You go to certain places and, there's 7-Elevens or mini marts or convenience stores, and everything is packaged and processed and full of chemicals and GMOs and pesticides and heavy metals and not organic. And this is what we're putting into our bodies, as if it's not going to affect us, right? It's really time to awaken on a conscious level, as well as awaken our cells, our cellular memory, and remember who we are by eating the plants, by the consciousness of the sun, the chlorophyll, and purifying our blood. Like the chlorophyll is the blood of the plant that purifies our blood.
Yeah, which actually what's coming through as Shoshana was speaking is that when the body is not experiencing health, ingesting, and even if you think that you eat healthy, there's a lot of gray areas there. The nervous system is constantly triggered, is constantly in survival mode. So even through the food that we are eating, especially if there are chemicals, and you might be exposed to chemicals that you don't even know, then there is that constant state of tension in the body. So just something to keep in mind is that when we bring more health, when we bring more nourishment, it's really all about nourishment. It's about being nourished. That's when the body can actually relax. That's when the nervous system can relax, because it has the environment to do so. And even if you eat all organic, and that's a much wider, broader, bigger conversation of what is optimal health. And there's always refinement that can be done in order to experience more vitality. And the more you start cleaning your body, the more you start nourishing your body, you also going to start becoming more in touch and in tuned with what your body is actually asking for. And as it comes to the addiction that I was talking about, even with food choices, you might be making food choices that continue to perpetuate the same state of toxicity, stress, and tension in your body. So when people tell me, well, but I crave this and I crave that, it's really important to ask, where is the craving coming from? Why are you drawn to certain foods? It's because it continues to produce the same states. So just like I was talking earlier about choices that we make that perpetuate the same state that we are familiar with. So when it comes to food choices, it's the same thing. And that's something that I work with my clients on a very deep level, is to gain that sense of awareness that you actually craving foods that are crappy for you because it continues to produce the same state that you are familiar with mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Absolutely. Yeah, that brings me to the microbiome, which people are hearing that word more. You know, that's all the organisms that live on our body, in our gut.
Everywhere.
Yeah, and that are being destroyed by the chemicals we're taking in and the antibiotics and whatnot. And so who's ruling the roost? Because there's good bacteria and then there's bacteria that's not truly serving us. So those, you know, let's say the candida, they're craving the sugar. People I hear so often, you know, I crave sugar, I crave sugar. Well, it's, you know, when we put more good bacteria in, those little voices start to fade away and we're not feeding those guys anymore, right? As well as, you know, the cravings of, you know, sugar having to do with not having proper protein assimilation. And so what I love about the products and protocol that I've been on is the protein is available, bioavailable within 23 minutes, 99% absorbable. Where if we eat a steak or salmon, we could only absorb 32% of it. And the rest, our kidneys and our liver, and, you know, have to process, and it creates waste and toxic.
And acid. There's a lot of acidity. Yeah.
Right, uric acid in the blood, which can lend to arthritis and so
even stiffness. You know, just like when people are like, oh, I'm so, like I see people in their 30s and they're so stiff. I'm like, oh my God, that's not the natural state of our human body.
No,
no,
it's not.
No, you're designed to be limber and flexible and open until the last day, until your last breath.
Yeah, Christina. Hey, everybody who's watching, by the way. I'm so glad you're here with us. Christina.
Yeah.
Yeah, gluten.
Ah, Christina, cool.
Yeah, well, the gluten thing is, you know, many people hear, oh, when I go to Europe, I don't have that same reaction when I eat bread or gluten over there.
Because it's all GMO here.
Yeah, one of the products we have removes the glyphosate, which is, it paralyzes the gut flora and it paralyzes our microbiome essentially. So our endocrine system, our hormones will go out of whack. You know, I mean, there's been a direct correlation, interestingly enough, since they introduced the glyphosate into our agriculture to desiccate the crops to get more yield of, you know, autism and Alzheimer's and autoimmune and digestive disorders and gluten intolerance and all these things just mysteriously, magically, since the late 70s started blooming as we're consuming these chemicals. So there's an amazing book called The Toxin That Came to Dinner. If anyone of you are interested, I can send you a link. We can put a link here for the audiobook, for a free audiobook. It's really very powerful information that can help people reverse. I mean, we have people who are totally gluten intolerant who think they're allergic to wheat, you know, and we put them on the biomedic. And, you know, these people who will have a reaction if they even go into a room where there's a kernel of wheat will have to go to the hospital, like severe reactions, that 6 weeks later after taking this product, you'll be even able to eat some wheat and not have a reaction. Yeah. Because it's healing the gut lining. Yeah. And so, you know, we're learning that so much of our health, our immune system, 70% is in the gut, has to do with our gut health. right?
Yeah.
So that's what we're part of what we're here to heal, so we could thrive.
Thrive, yeah, in our bodies, and
Health-wise,
always. Your battery's getting low. That's good. Perfect. Well, and there's so much to say about this, because that's another thing, like people with allergies, and there's just so much misinformation out there, and a lot of information, and people get lost, and it's chaos out there. Like, what is true health? And it's so simple. It's so simple. That is my approach. And that's when people come to me like, oh, I've tried everything. I'm like, nope, you still haven't tried everything. Trust me. But if you must unplug from the mainstream and all the fad diets out there. Health is much simpler than you might believe or think. And it's approaching it with an open mind, with an open heart, and remembering the natural cycles of life. And nature is always the greatest intelligence that we have, truly. And when it comes to allergies, if you are allergic to something, whatever it may be, food or any environmental stuff, it's because your immune system is not strong. Allergies don't really exist. It's a symptom. It's a symptom of a deficient immune system. So to me, it's always important to go to the core rather than, well, let me just take an allergy medicine, even if it's homeopathic, because I know people use alternative medicine, but they're still not addressing the core. So is it true health? No, true health is when you really go to the core and eradicate, eliminate, or take care of what's the source of this allergy, of the arthritis, of the stiffness.
And with the leaky gut, which I believe most of us have, even though we're not diagnosed with that or aware of it, is of particles of the food will get into the blood.
Yeah.
And so the body creates antibodies thinking it's a foreign invader to attack it. And that's where a lot of the allergies are coming from.
Right.
So when we heal the gut lining, then suddenly we're not having these allergic reactions anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Going to the source.
Exactly.
Yeah, what is the source?
Exactly. So it's simple, and a lot of people are feeling helpless because they're on all kinds of medications and pharmaceuticals, and they're trying this and that, when we're here to say it's simple and we can help you with this. And if you're interested, if you're dealing with health issues, or if you have loved ones dealing with health issues and you want to know more, if you want a free health consultation, if you're stressed out financially, like we have an amazing gift to offer. And if you're interested, let us know, drop a line, drop a message, but we don't have to be sick and suffer. And there is support, and it doesn't have to be super expensive either to be supported. That's the beautiful thing here of making it easy, making it accessible for everyone, because it could be an arm and a leg just to try to stay healthy in this medical system that we're in, when we don't have the proper insurance. Or many of us want to go more alternative routes, and insurance companies don't cover that. So
yeah. Well, and for me, it's a part of the simplicity is actually what I love sharing with people, is that your health is simple, and it doesn't need to cost you all of your savings or something like that. It is really, 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 really simple. It's it does require, though, commitment. It does require a certain declaration on your part saying, I'm releasing any addictions that I may have consciously or unconsciously for things that are toxic. And that also is stress and tension, and becoming a slave to your work, or becoming a slave to your phone and the addiction that brings, and where is that coming from. So we're going to the root. So like Shoshana said, if there is some sort of a health issue in your life, and even if there isn't, even if you're in a place in your life where you are healthy, yet you feel that your energy levels can be upgraded, you could experience more vitality, because it's, again, there's always an expansion. There's always room to refine how much energy, vitality, creativity you can experience in your life. So why limit yourself? So if you are experiencing any sort of health issues and or wanting to upgrade your health, wanting to press the reset button on your health and free up more vital energy in your life, then yes, you could contact Shoshana or myself, wherever it is that you're watching, and for a health consultation. What I'm going to be launching actually next month in February is a small group of people where I'll be offering not only the protocol of Puriums and their amazing products, but the protocols that I work with. So it's a very holistic approach to health, and very simple, and can help you boost your health, boost your immune system, and upgrade your entire lifestyle, really, where at least on a physical level, you can start thriving that much more. And then when you thrive on a physical level, it changes your consciousness, it changes your mental state, it changes your emotional state, and so much more space is created for that creative energy to flow freely and abundantly, which affects everything else in your life, including finances. So if you are interested in be a part of a small group where you have my guidance, and it's not one-on-one, so the investment is a bit less. However, you'll have the support of the group, myself, and for 40 days, we're going to come together, do a 30-day protocol of the Purium products and other protocols, combining it with powerful practices like Kundalini Yoga. And you have the support, just like we were saying earlier. You don't really need to do it alone, especially if you do live somewhere where this is not accessible to you. Maybe you don't have a community. Maybe your family doesn't understand that what it is that you're into, and people think that you are weird because you're interested in health and expanding your consciousness, and you might feel isolated and alone. So my invitation to you is to either drop a comment here if you're interested. Best thing to do is to send me a private message, and then we can take it off the Facebook and actually have a conversation and see if you can be supported.
Beautiful. Yeah, and I've been loving incorporating the Kundalini Yoga as well. We've offered people who are doing the transformations with us to do 30 or 40 days, 40-day Kundalini Yoga as well with their transformation. And it's just such a beautiful weaving together of, just oxygenating and getting strength and
life
power.
Life force.
Yeah, I've been doing it every day.
Yeah, Shoshana is in what, day 20? You haven't.
I'm probably more like 25 or something like that. Yeah.
It's life-changing. It's one of the most transformative tools that I have in my toolbox, and I've been teaching yoga for over a decade and different styles, and I love blending them all. And it's technology. Kundalini Yoga is a straight-up technology to unleash that life force within you and connect you deeply to your soul's essence. And to me, Kundalini Yoga combined with living foods and superfoods and foods from the sun, that's how we create Jedis. And that's what I'm about. So if you are in a place where I'm ready to step into my Jedi self, then please send me a message.
Yeah, and I think a big piece of it, and this could be a whole nother topic we talk about, as far as like showing up for ourselves and saying yes to do the work and feeling worthy to thrive. And whether it's like showing up on the yoga mat or just, saying yes and starting day one on a health transformation, that's sometimes the most difficult part. But then once you show up and once you do it, it's just like life.
Feels so good.
It's lighter and lighter. You feel better and better, stronger and clearer. And so, perhaps we'll have a conversation one day about what stops us from showing up.
Oh, I have plenty to say about that.
I'm sure you do. That's what I'm saying. That might be a whole nother conversation.
A whole nother conversation. Yeah, we'll save it for another day. And I love what you said, that it's the hardest, can be the most challenging part, is to make that decision, because it comes from worthiness, and I'm big on self-love. So at the end of the day, that is the core for everything. For you to say yes to improving your health and thriving and improving your finances, it's from a place of I'm worthy of experiencing. It's not even worthiness, it's your birthright. It's your birthright to experience radiant health, happiness, abundance, love, support in all ways. And it's much easier to make that commitment when you are supported by other people.
Absolutely.
It's, for some, I know it's a lot harder to do it alone.
It's nice to have accountability buddies.
Yeah.
You know, someone checking in, like, how you doing? And knowing that you don't, yeah, there's
And
people out there
the
who
feeling
care.
that you're held.
Exactly.
And I feel that so many of us, you just want to be held, don't you? It's just physically, just want to be held. And even energetically, when you know that you are being held, and stop that aggravating feeling in the nervous system of I'm all alone, and thrive. Thrival.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So we can wrap it up.
Well, I'm so glad that you're here, and I can actually hold you. 'Cause we started this conversation
a couple of months
Noa
ago.
was in Bali, and I'm here on Kauai, and then life plucked her out of the sky and brought her here so I can hold her.
Yes.
And we can have this
and
conversation
we can do it together,
with you,
and yes, in person.
We're doing it together.
Yeah.
So just know that you're not alone and that you have support. And if you're struggling with your health, if you're struggling with your finances, if you just, need some support, that there is care for you. We're here. You can reach out to us, and we have an amazing community of transformation specialists who can also hold you. And
I'm calling in my Jedis. Are you my Jedi? Come see me.
My Jedi.
I've been waiting for you.
Yeah. We need more Jedis on the planet right now, that's for sure. That's, again, another conversation. I feel like there's so much shifting right now on the planet that we really do need to up our game and remember who we are, and bring more light, But that's what we're doing.
It's the sun shining.
That's what we're doing. There's the sun shining. Oh my God, thank you for the sun.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're sending you so much love. Again, if you're watching this later, Megan, I love you too. Thank you for being here right now. If you're watching this later, drop a comment. Let us know anything, if this resonates with you, how this resonates with you. And like we said, best thing is send us a private message, and let's talk. Let's talk, and let's see how you could thrive in your life even more so.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. All right. Sending lots of love. Aloha from Kauai.
Aloha. Mahalo. Aloha. Thank you, Noa.
Yeah, thank you.
Love you.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Wow.